So, the first duo is Barnaby and Renee, aka Mr. and Mrs. Balance.
So for centuries, poets have been talking to us and each other about Shalom principles. We put together a little dialogue to remind us that we're not out there alone when we go out. Shalom means systematic and sustainable change. If the crop of any one year was all, a man would have to cut his throat every time it hailed. But the real products of any year's work are the farmer's mind and the cropland itself. If he raises a good crop at the cost of belittling himself and diminishing the ground, he has gained nothing. He will have to begin over again next spring, worse off than before. Let him receive the season's increment to his mind. Let him work it into the soil. The finest growth that farmland can produce is a careful farmer. Make the human race a better head. Make the world a better piece of ground.
50 golden wheat heads blow. 50 golden wheat stalks grow. 50 golden years lay row on row. 50 years may quickly go. Golden hair will quickly gray. Golden wheat heads brown and fray. Golden leaves will rot away. Virtues are here to stay.
Shalom means
Health, healing,
wholeness. Is the soul solid like iron, or is it tender and breakable, like the wings of a moth in the beak of an owl? Who has it, and who doesn't? I keep looking around me. The face of the moose is as sad as the face of Jesus. The swan opens her white wings slowly. In the fall, the black bear carries leaves into the darkness. One question leads to another. Does it have a shape like an iceberg, like the eye of a hummingbird? Does it have one lung like the snake or the scallop? Why should I have it and not the anteater who loves her children? Why should I have it and not the camel? Or come to think of it, what about maple trees? What about the blue iris? What about the little stones sitting alone in the moonlight? What about roses and lemons and their shining leaves? What about the grass?
But the discipline of blessings is to taste each moment, the bitter, the sour, the sweet, and the salty, and be glad for what does not hurt. The art is in compressing attention to each little and big blossom of the tree of life, to let the tongue sing each fruit, its savor, its aroma, and its use. Attention is love, what we must give children, mothers, fathers, pets, our friends, the news, the woes of others. What we want to change, we curse, and then pick up a tool. Bless whatever you can with eyes and hands and tongue. If you can't bless it, get ready to make it new.
Shalom means asset-based community development. So what are we doing here? I asked the crow parading on the ledge of fall that fails to hang precariously over the city. Crow just laughs and says, wait and see. I'm waiting and not seeing anything, not just yet. But like Crow, I collect the shine of anything beautiful I can find.
But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown, but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom.
Shalom means
Love for God, self, and neighbor. It doesn't interest me if there is one God or many gods. I want to know if you belong or feel abandoned. If if you can know despair or see it in others. I want to know if you are prepared to live in the world with its harsh need to change you. If you can look back with firm eyes, saying, "This is where I stand." I want to know if you know how to melt into that fierce heat of living, falling toward the center of your longing. I want to know if you are willing to live day by day with that consequence of love and the bitter, unwanted passion of your sure defeat. I have heard in that fierce embrace, even the gods speak of God.
At the entrance, my bare feet on the dirt floor, here gusts of heat lay at my back, white clouds. I stare and stare. It seems I was called for this, to glorify things just because they are.
If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoings, but rejoices in truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love.
Shalom means
Organizing diverse resources for direct action.
The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, Hopi vases that held corn are put in museums, but you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real.
There is one righteousness. Water the fruit trees and don't water the thorns. Be generous to what nurtures the spirit and God's luminous reason light. Don't honor what causes dysentery and knotted up tumors.
God picks up the reed flute world and blows. Each note is a need coming through one of us, a passion, a longing pain. Remember the lips where the wind breath originated, and let your note be clear. Don't try to end it. Be your note. I'll show you it's enough. Shalom means multicultural, multi-faith collaboration. Near a shrine in Japan, he swept a path and then placed camellia blossoms there. Or, we have no way of knowing. He swept the path between fallen camellias.
These leaves, our bodily personalities, seem identical, but the globe of soul fruit we make, each is elaborately unique. At night, make me one with the darkness.
In the morning, make me one with the light.